Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Latinas Power Talk. I am your host, Kenya Vasquez. Thank you so much for joining us another week, amigas. We are proud to have a spectacular guest. Like, honestly, I am in awe of everything that she does, everything that she represents in our community. And she's here to share her story. Like, every week we have an inspiring woman, and this is none other than such an inspiration. So she's a stylist. She's a social media influencer. She's a model. And she is using her voice in a powerful way. And I want her to tell us a little bit about it. But she is helping our cultura. So without further ado, help me introduce my guest for this week, Franchela Ulises.
Hola, hola.
Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien. Thank you for having me.
Gracias por
You
estar
feel
aquí.
good Spanish, Spanglishing?
Spanglish.
Spanglish.
Lo que salga. Yes, lo que salga.
Gracias
How are you
por
doing?
tenerme aquí.
No, thank you for coming, girl. Thank you for coming. It's like an honor. Like I said, I've been doing a little bit Insta stalking on you, and I was like, oh my goodness, like everything that you represent and you do is super inspiring. It
Thank
truly
you.
is. Like
Thank you.
You are using your voice for such a positive way and really changing how society views Latinas.
That's right.
So tell our audience a little bit about what you do.
Yes, so my name is Franchela Ulises. I am a stylist, like you said, a model.
Yes, girl. I love this.
I'm a mom of 3, married, and I have a community called Mujeres of all shades, which is all about faith, fashion, and community. And yeah, I'm just an all-around Latina. Love my culture, love talking about my culture, and I just love supporting women in my community overall.
I absolutely love that. Mujeres of all shades. Tell us a little bit more of what that is and how it came about in your life. Where did this idea come from? Tell me, how did it start?
Yes. So I started Mujeres of all shades like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And it was just something in my mind that I wanted to do. But, you know, sometimes we start a project. We're like, we're going to do it. We don't do it. And coming from the islands, because I was born in the Virgin Islands and my parents are from Dominican Republic, I am an island girl. So Latino is in my blood with my Dominican side. And when I moved to Arizona, I would always get the question, where did you learn how to speak Spanish? ¿Y por qué hablas español? ¿Y dónde lo aprendiste? Or I would get the stares.
Where are you from?
Yeah, where are you from? Oh my God. I was very exotic. People would call me exotic here, right? I was like, okay, you gotta take that. But I was like, wow, why is it such a big deal? Because I used to live in New York for a while and I never had any of that. So I said, you know what? I think there's something that maybe there's a lack of education. I don't think they're doing it because they're just like, they just want to ask the question. Maybe
Right.
it's just, I'm a rare person in Arizona. So I was like, okay, I want to start something. And that's how Mujeres of all shades started. I said, you know what? I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going through this. I know a lot of girls who are from Mexico and son güeras, tienen los ojos verdes, el cabello rubio, and I'm sure they get the same
Redheads.
questions.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I want to start something that I can educate and I could just bring a group of women together to learn about each other's culture.
And I think that's something that's not talked about in our cultura, if we really think about it, you know? And the Latina woman I think media really paints Latinas a certain way.
Yes.
Brunette, you know, curvy, speaks her mind, you know, but we are not, that's not a valid representation of all Latinas.
That's true.
It's not. And I think like media needs to open their eyes and see that, you know, that is not accurate of who we are. That's a percentage of our people, but that's not everyone, you know?
Yes.
Like, look at TV. Like, do you ever like stop and think about like how we're represented on television and how inaccurate it is?
Yeah. Well, not well represented. And that's exactly why I started this. And that's why I've been so vocal about the Latino community and how diverse we are, because even as Latino, we're putting ourselves in a box, right? We're just saying, oh, we look like this. And it's like, no, we're so diverse. Yeah. We're so rich in culture. And I did my video. One time I did a video on, that's a video that went viral. And I was just like, I went to an event to support the Latino community, like some women group. And I got like so many questions about my hair, because I had my hair out of my afro. And then, why are you here? Oh my God, you learn Spanish? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So I go in my car and I sit down and I'm like, that's it. I make a video, I get my phone, and I'm like, not all Latinas are white with straight hair. Yeah. Some Latinas look like me. That was it. It was like probably like a 5-second clip. It went viral.
No, but maybe because so many people saw themselves represented in that.
Yes.
You know, of like the frustration probably.
Yes.
There probably is like a little bit of frustration.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through that, like you're not going to understand it fully, you know?
Yes.
But so you said you lived a little bit in New York. Is the culture then different? Like in Arizona, are we just not as educated?
New York
like you
is
said?
crazy cultural. Like,
Yeah.
it's out of the box. Like,
I've never been to New York, but
New York
yeah.
is crazy amazing. Like, you go to New York and you're gonna see everything, all the cultures, Dominicans, Cubans, and people just don't even care. Look, you know, like they'll see you talking whatever you're talking, and they just don't
They
even.
don't question you. They
They
don't.
don't.
Yeah.
It's normal for them. It's just a melting pot of cultures. And when I was there, I fell in love with New York because it's so cultural. You can just be yourself. You get to meet so many people that are just from different places. And there's a really big Dominican community over there. So I love it. It just
Yeah.
feels like you're in DR.
Aw,
Literally.
yeah, like you're back-
They'll have the
yeah.
music. They'll have the people like
El sazón.
sí, en el
Yeah.
barrio, sentado en la esquina, que lo que, everything. It's just like when I'm there, I never want to leave. It just makes me so happy to be around, you know, people in New York.
Like our people, you know
Our
what I mean?
people.
Our people. Like I think there's such a different feeling being around our people.
Yes.
Like we understand each other. Like, oh my gosh, like our cultura, like we can share everything. But why do you think then? And I don't know. Like I haven't been to that many states, but why do you think there's such a big difference? Like between like Arizona and like, for example, New York, or if you've experienced California and it's like similar to Arizona, or if it's similar to New York. Oh,
I just think that the bigger community here, I would say, is more Latino America, Mexicanos, Ecuadoreños. Esa comunidad está más grande. So what happens is that sometimes, because there is a bigger community, there's not that much space for other communities to come in. It's like when you have your
we
people.
are border town. Yes. Yeah.
When you know your people, you're stuck with your people. That's kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? And if there was more space for more, like more open for more communities to come in and feel like they can come in and they can be part of something, I think that can make a big difference. Also, like you said, we are a border state, you know? So there's not a lot of, I would say, like people from other states. There are people from other countries because I've ran into a few Dominicans, but they're not much of us here.
Yeah.
But I think even though there's not like a big population of like a personas como de Dominicanas or de Cuba, there is still TV and social media and everything else. So we
Right.
we should know. But I also look at the TV channels and what are they showing us? You know?
Yeah.
I think right now, a lot of Latino TV channels, they're opening up their mindset and they're adding more women who are more diverse, but we still have work to do.
we have a lot of work to do. I think we're
yes.
starting to barely scratch the surface.
Yeah,
but there's like
we're
so much
sprinkling
more.
stuff
We're
up in there.
sprinkling, putting our little sazon in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, there's still so much to do. But tell me a little bit then about Mujeres of All Shades. What it looks like. Like, is it a member-based community? Is it event-driven? Like, tell me a little bit more for those people who are wanting to know more of how to get involved.
Yes, Mujeres is, right now we do a lot of events.
Yeah, one coming up.
Yes.
June 15th.
June 15th,
Yes.
yes. We actually have our Styling Women in Business, which is specifically about empowering women who are in business, who want to start a business, who are content creators, and they just want to know how to dress, what to wear. I always tell my girls, first impression counts.
Yes.
Although it's not the best thing, right? Because you're like, why are you
Right.
judging me the first time you see me? But when you see someone for the first time, you are attracted to what you see, their hair, their body, what they're wearing. So women in business, I know for so long, a lot of women who are in business, they're afraid to step out of the box. They just try to keep it calm. And I'll just wear black. I'll just wear beige.
Let me not stand out.
Yeah, let me not stand out.
Yes.
And we have to stand out. Like,
We
why
do,
not?
girl. We
You know?
sure do. Like, it is rough out here.
Yeah, we have to
find
stand
a
out.
job, for
Yes.
anything. Like, put yourself out there, show your personality in order to be remembered.
Yes.
And authenticity, I always say this, authenticity always is going to take you the extra mile.
Yes.
There's no faking it.
Yeah, there's
Like,
no faking it.
There's no faking it.
No, we have to stand out, and that's the whole point, for women to feel empowered. And also, women who are in business, we also know that we are sometimes struggling financially. We're still trying to make it happen. We're small business owners. Where can we find this clothes? How can we shop? And how can we do it under, in a budget and we still look powerful? So that's what it's all about. And all the events that we do, fashion shows, I do a lot of fashion shows for nonprofits. For women in corporate, I've been doing a lot of fashion shows, which is really rare to have fashion shows like in a corporate setting, but it's
Yeah.
super cool because the women in corporate, like real estate agents, teachers, I've done fashion shows for teachers, and they just leave so empowered. They're like, oh, wow.
Yes, I will say, like, I feel like we're going into a new era where people are owning who they are.
Yes.
owning you are, it doesn't matter what field you're in. Like you can be in corporate, you can be teaching, you can be whatever, and showing up unapologetically like yourself. I am going to wear that orange polka dot dress because I want to,
Yes.
and it's not just, I feel like our mentality is shifting.
It is.
Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness of just like not wearing your typical slacks, which if you love slacks, then good for you. But antes, I feel like, the professional attire for any office setting would have been like black or blue slacks with like a buttoned up shirt. And it's like, no, style is all about expressing yourself.
Yeah, expressing yourself.
And now I think we're opening that door even more of like being more accepted of like, okay, how do you want to show up today? How do you want to dress today? Do you think COVID kind of impacted that a little bit?
I think it did because people had more time to be home, although it's a 50-50 because a lot of people kind of let go of their fashion
got more
sense.
into comfy clothes.
They were just wearing a blazer with some, with some jogger pants for their
slippers.
meetings.
Yeah,
so we kind of let it go. But I think there's just people who are very creative in general, and they just love expressing themselves through fashion. And we shouldn't stop doing what we want to do or what we want to wear because we're in an office setting. Actually, I think that's very healthy because when you're in an office setting, you're in a cubicle all day, and you just have to sit there and work. I feel like your outfit changes your mood. And I always say color has power.
100%.
I wear color, I would say 100% of the time. I'm always wearing color. If I'm wearing a black and white something, I'm like, I can't do this. I have to throw something on. And that's my brand. It's my staple. But it wasn't always like that. I was always kind of scared of wearing color. It was very intimidating. And I think wearing color was kind of that moment of like, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want to do with my clothes. And that's when it all started. And that's the whole thing about Mujeres, like doing these fashion shows. We do workshops. I've been modeling for many years, so I also do modeling and posing workshops. Also for girls who are starting their modeling career, especially in editorial settings. And then also women who need headshots because we all take the same headshot.
We do.
Right?
We do.
And we got to change that.
And a lot of women don't know that headshots are a thing. A lot of women in our culture, you know, are like, oh, I need a headshot. Like, yeah, you do. So you're helping them, you're educating our community. But I want to take it back a little bit. I want to take it back. Al inicio de tu carrera, what did that look like? Like, did you start with modeling? Did you start with styling? How did you start your whole business? Because honestly, like, you've built up your business. Your brand, your name is a business.
Yes.
So how did you start and how did you get interested in it?
Well, actually, I have a bachelor's degree in criminal justice administration.
Criminal justice.
So it has nothing to do. I am the fashion police. I tell my friends. So watch out. I'm over here judging everybody's outfits. But I got my degree. I've always loved criminal justice, and I still do. And I actually went to school with my 2 older daughters. And it was really difficult, but I just still wanted to finish my degree, finish my career. And
Wait, so you had your 2 oldest daughters, and you were going full-time to school?
I was going to full-time to school.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was that like?
It was very difficult, but I was very determined, and I was just like, I'm going to get it done. I'm that type of person. When I start something, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to go through it. If I have to cry through it, I'm going to cry through it, but I'm going to make it happen. And it was a lot, but, graduating was a blessing. And I think that was a stepping stone for me to say, if I could do this, I can do anything. I can go through a whole degree with 2 kids, and they were very small because they're 2 years apart, so...
They were tiny. They were babies.
Yes. So then after I did that, I graduated. I worked at the court. I worked as a receptionist for a law firm.
Was this in New York?
It was here.
Oh,
in Arizona.
here. Okay.
Yeah. I did a lot. I worked at a university too, helping teachers get their degrees. I did a lot, but I had a lot of friends that would always tell me, like, Franchella, you like being around women a lot. Like, you like helping us and like pushing us. I would just talk to my friends. I'll be there for hours. Like, you can do it.
Yeah.
I trust in you.
A girl's girl.
Yeah. So my friends were like, girl, you got to start something. Because you just love that. And I was like, that's true. So I didn't start it. I went through the fashion route. So I started to model, and I did a lot of modeling for different thrifting stores because that's my main thing. I love thrifting, and I did a lot of like ambassadorships for a lot of like thrift stores, and I did a lot of fashion shows here. So all the fashion shows, all the fashion community stuff, I did it all.
Phoenix Fashion Week.
Yeah,
all that stuff.
I did Arizona Fashion, Phoenix Fashion Week, Tempe Fashion Week. I did all of them. And
you name it, she did it.
I did all of them, on Central, all of them. Shout out, because I love all of them. They're my people. And that's how I built my styling brand. And while I was doing styling, I was also modeling at the same time, and everything just started to grow together. Like I was just going together, going through.
They kind of go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. They are difficult because sometimes you have to get out of the modeling mindset and go into the stylist mindset. But it was really easy for me because I was just used to doing both. And I felt like it also gave me that edge because I understood what the models were going through when it came to what to wear, the clothes.
You understood that side of it.
Yeah, the comfort and all that stuff. And then after I felt like I was stable in my styling and my modeling, then I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to start Mujeres. And that's when I started it.
You took that leap of faith and you ran with it.
I did. It was the scariest leap of faith ever.
I bet. I mean, had you ever done like your own business at that point? Or was this like your first of like, okay, let's figure it out as we get there, you know?
That was my first, because styling, I would do styling here and there. I would do stuff for fashion shows. But the actual business that I even registered and everything was Mujeres of all shades. And it was very scary because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go with it.
Figure it out as I go.
Yes, I remember my first photo shoot that I did. Shout out to the girls that went with me. It was so hot. It was during summer. I dragged all of them like in the middle of like the heat. I'm like, let's do a photo shoot. And they were like, what, now?
Right
like,
now?
Yes, if you guys love me, we're going to do now. They all loved me. They all did it. But I remember I did my first post and I just activated my Instagram for a week because I was so scared. I was like, I cannot see the likes. I can't see the comments. I was freaking out. It all worked out. When I came back, it was like a humongous community. Everybody was just like excited for me. And I was like, wow.
Wait, so you posted it, deactivated, and then
I posted it and I just left. I just didn't just activate. I removed the app from my phone because I just didn't want to like,
you didn't want to get tempted to go see.
I didn't want to see. I was just so scared. I was like, it's not going to work. There's so many communities out there. Like, who cares? You know how it is when you start something. We are our worst critics.
And then that seed starts to get planted in your head.
So I was like,
and
no,
then it starts to grow if you feed it.
Yeah.
You know?
I was like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then, my friends were like, you're crazy. Like, we all love you. We're all going to support you. Just do it. We did the shoot, and it's ever since, we're still here.
Gracias a Dios.
Gracias a Dios. God has been good.
But honestly, like I said, like it's something that is so needed in our community. I really do think so. Like, I don't know, you probably hear this all the time from women who are in your group, in your community. It is something that is so needed and so important because then future generations, like at least they're growing up in a community where it's different than when we were growing up, you know? How does it make you feel that you're impacting and creating a difference for future generations, like your daughters, for example?
You know, one of the main reasons why I created Mujeres of all shades was because of my daughters. Because growing up, I grew up in an island where 95% of us look very similar. So it was never a big thing for me. But St. Thomas is very small. Like, it's a very small island. Even though it's part of the United States, we're still in the Caribbean. And I've always loved modeling since I was a little girl. I was like, I'm going to become a model. I'm going to work on TV. But I just didn't see anyone that looked like me. I think my biggest reference was Tyra Banks, Naomi. And that was it. Like, there was not much going on. So that kind of stuck with me growing up. I'm never going to be able to do it. Like, there's nobody like me. I look in the magazines. No one looks like me. They don't have my hair. They don't have my body. They don't have my culture. And that stuck with me throughout my years. I think when I got a little bit older is when I was able to build that confidence and say, I can do it. You know, I have my mom, my dad are like cheerleaders. Like, tú sí puedes, tú eres la más linda de todas. So they were very supportive. So I wanted my girls to also, know that they can. And to this day, I think I've done a good job. I've done so much. I've been to Latin Grammys. Yeah, that was a big deal.
I saw, like I said, I was doing Insta stalking and I saw you went to the Univision event a few weeks ago.
Yes,
Upfront,
I was
right?
in New York for Upfront. That was one of those events that I was like, what am I doing here? It's like, I was still like starstruck the whole time.
Because we grew up with Univision.
And I always said, I'm going to be there someday, but I just didn't know how or when. It was a big moment, and only God did that, because who else?
How did it feel when you got that invite? It must have been so nostalgic of like you said, like you grew up saying you wanted to go kind of into the entertainment industry. Y esa puerta se te abrió. And probably like all those inner child's kind of thoughts probably, did they start to like come into your head of like, I dreamed about this and now it's happening. Now I'm being invited. How did that feel?
It felt really unreal, especially when I got invited to go to Latin Grammys. That was like, I was like, wait, what? I got the message. I'm like, y'all trying to hack my account.
It's a scam.
I know it's a scam. Yeah. But yes, I think that moment of being in the Latin Grammys, and I also did a commercial with Walmart.
Major.
It was major.
Yeah.
So it was incredible to be on set and to see all these people. It was just that moment of like, this can't be possible. And then they flew us out to Spain.
Spain?
Yeah,
For the commercial?
It was in Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Latin Grammys last year. They did it in Sevilla, Spain. So
Oh, that's right.
yeah, we all flew out to Spain.
They took it international. So what did you when you were there at the Latin Grammys?
We were definitely doing a lot of like working behind the scenes, getting everything ready, but I also got time to spend with other creators that were there. My husband got to go with me and just preparing. But the whole time it was just like, the whole time we were all like, what, are we here?
Pinch me.
Pinch us. Like, yeah, it was kind of like we would have fun, live it, and then just sit down like,
It started to like kind of sink in of like,
Yes.
oh shit, where am I? You
Yes,
know?
and then I made it on Vogue Best Dress for Mexico, Vogue Best Dress for Spain. So it was amazing to be on the carpet. I look at the photos till this moment, I'm just like, that did not happen. And then obviously being invited to Upfront to New York was unreal.
Which Upfront is probably one of their biggest events. Aside from the award shows, that's probably Univision's biggest event where they really, if you don't know what Upfront is, it's where they really kind of plan the next year ahead, right?
Yes, they do. They
Yeah.
talk about all the upcoming programming, telenovelas, all the apps that they're going to be launching. So it's very important. And they usually have, their staff and all
Their
the
talent.
people who work there. Yeah, their talents to be there. So I mean, they're doing a great job of offering more space for creators to come in and also support, and they're doing a really good job.
There's something powerful about being in that space. I went to the Latin Grammys. This was before COVID, when they were in Vegas, and it was just like gosh, you see it on TV, and now you're like, I'm seeing it like live in action.
Yeah.
You know, it's really
It was really, really, really interesting to be in that space and to be in the position that I was in, because I was just not like going. It was just like I was part of it, right? Like everything was there. Franchella, come over here, Franchella.
Yeah.
And then to be in the carpet and have all the cameras too, I was like, no, this is too much.
But have you always wanted to go into the entertainment industry then, ever since you were a little girl, or?
Yeah, I've always liked the entertainment industry, specifically modeling. I love modeling. I think there's just like, you can be so many people when you're modeling, especially the editorial part of, modeling, high fashion. It's always been my thing. But in general, I love the entertainment industry. I think there needs to be more women who look like me in these spaces, not only in like the regular communities, but like in the Latino community. And that's why I'm always like, I work with both communities, but I'm always focused more on the Latino community because that's what we need, the representation. Like we need more of us in that space. So I think I'm doing a good job of showing up and trying, You
are.
But
yeah.
it's been a blessing.
Where do you see yourself in like 10 years?
Oh, man.
10 years, girl.
That's a long time.
We're manifesting. We love to manifest on Latinas Power
Yes.
Talk.
In 10 years, I would really want to see Mujeres on a whole different level. My mindset with Mujeres is obviously having a community, but I would love to have different professionals come in and work, teachers who can build other teachers, life coach, and definitely want to travel around the world doing events. That's one of my main things, and I'm just like, God, pon todo en orden, because I would love to go to different states, different countries, sharing what we do, and hopefully having my fashion line, because I would totally love to have
your own
a
fashion
company,
line.
Fashion line.
I love that. I love that. Do you see it like in stores or kind of more exclusive, more like high end?
I would love to see it in both. I would love to make something that's reachable, attainable for just the regular woman, the community, for them to be able to buy, especially professional attire, because I'm always there with the professional attire, but we're gonna add some color to it.
We're gonna add some
sass.
color. Yes, I love that,
because women can kill it in a pink suit in an office. I'm like,
Yeah.
you can be a boss.
100%.
Yeah.
Let's
Closing
start changing that
contracts
mentality
in
of
your pink
like,
suit.
yeah, you can show up in a bright pink blazer and still be taken seriously. You know?
Yeah. I think that's
mean-
very hard for us to understand.
Yeah, I do think so. And I think you're shifting that mindset.
Trying.
You really are. You really are. How did you get to this point in your career? I'm sure it was a lot of work.
A lot.
A lot.
It was a lot of work. It's a lot of tears.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, were there ever moments where like you started to question or be like, what am I doing?
Oh, every
like,
day.
Really?
Every
You still
day.
feel like that?
Yeah, there's days when even it doesn't matter how, good everything is going or how successful you are, you still have those days when you're like, oh, Dios mío, I'm running low on battery.
Yeah.
And you just have to unwind, or there's moments when things don't go the way you want them to go as planned and you're like, oh, Dios mío. Am I doing this right? Should I change this? But then, God is so good. I'm a woman of faith. My husband is a preacher, so I'm really involved in mi iglesia. Y Dios is always that sostén. Whenever I'm about to lose it, God is like, girl, get it together.
Keeps you centered.
Keeps me
Yes.
centered, keeps me concentrated. And every time I'm just having a moment, it's just God is just like, get it together. Let's go. Get up. Move forward.
Got us. He's got us always, you know?
And as women, it's not easy. Especially when we're dealing with things ourselves, when you're a mom and you're trying to build a whole brand, your brand becomes your baby, but then you still have real people to take care of.
Yeah. Your
and
baby's at home.
And they need a lot of your attention and time and effort. So it gets a lot, but it always comes true. And I have a really strong community. My girls are always, they're the best. I'm like, we have an event, they all show up. We have this, they all show up. So they always keep me together.
The power of community. I've seen that, over the course of a few years when I moved back from LA here, that Arizona has such a great community of Latinas just wanting to help each other out, authentically trying to help another Latina thrive and succeed. And I feel like I've seen that in so many events that I've been to, that it's so beautiful that we do have that here. That's so beautiful. I want to do a few rapid questions if you're down. Let's do this. Yes. These are kind of like finish the phrase, right? So being Latina to me means
power.
I want my legacy to be about
faith.
My biggest inspiration is
my mother.
If I could have dinner with one person, either living or dead, it would be
my husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I love
He's
that.
Fabulous.
I love that.
He's been through a lot. Keeping up with me is a lot. So he sure deserves it.
I love that. And one word to define me would be
strong.
The way that I would define my sense of style and fashion would be
colorful.
Colorful. I love
colorful.
that.
I see. That is me, color.
I love that. I know you came in and you're like, I have to have my color.
I love that you're wearing color. Like, I'm so proud. I walked in, I was like, yes, girl, yes.
And I normally wear black because like black makes me feel confident, you know?
Yes.
But I was like, no.
I love the color.
And when I walked out, my boyfriend was like, oh, I love that on you. And I was like, oh, thank you. I love this too, you know?
It just stands out. Like, it's just hard not to miss.
Thank you.
That's what
my boyfriend said.
Yeah,
he's like, it's hard not to miss you.
Yes, it's hard not to miss. So I love color. That's my brand. That's my happy place. It keeps me happy, keeps me together. And I'm excited to be able to motivate other women to wear more color, to be more confident, and to stop hiding. Because a lot of the times we don't want to wear those colors because, first of all, wearing color is hard. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. Wearing black and beige is just more comfortable, especially when you have like a busy life. But there's so many ways to add those little sparkle of color in your wardrobe.
And your earrings and your shoes. Yeah.
And it speaks about our culture too, because we all have a culture. And what better way to represent that through what we wear?
But I feel like most times, Latinas specifically, we've kind of been told to kind of like simmer down. To
calm
down.
Like, tone it down.
Tone it down. Yes.
And no.
And now we're like going back to like, no.
Yes.
What do you want to be and how do you want to show up?
Yes.
You know? So I love that.
Yes. And the smallest thing that we think it's like, no, it's not a big deal. It's just what I wear. My choice of style has opened so many doors. Like the way I dress has helped me stand out in so many spaces.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I love
It's become my brand. It's
become
a thing. I told you that when I wear black, everybody's just like,
are you okay?
all the time. I'm like, I'm fine. And then I start crying. When I'm going through something, I'm wearing black, usually around the time.
Yeah.
But my friends know. Whenever I'm wearing like a dark color, they're like,
Does this
do
happen
we need to
you?
talk?
Yeah. It's like, are you okay? Do we need to go have a coffee?
Yeah.
Does this happen to you where like for example, my style can change every day. I can wake up and be like, you know what? I feel in this type of mood. Or like today I want to really dress up, like go all out and dress up. Today I want to do a little more preppy, a little more whatever. Does that happen to you too? Of like you wake up and
yes,
whatever mood?
I have so many different ways of seeing fashion. I think fashion talks about how you feel in that moment, and it speaks volume. Sometimes you don't even have to say how you're feeling or where you're heading. Like when you wear a fancy dress, we all know where you're going. You know, probably if you have like sweats, we all know you're probably going to the gym. So people don't understand how powerful what we wear, and it speaks so much about us too.
You're right.
And it's just such a conversation starter. One day I did a workshop for women real estate agents, and we were doing like a styling session. And usually real estate agents, they kind of have a dress code of how they wear. They try to keep it more neutral,
very uniformed. Yes.
So I told one of the ladies, I was like, if you're in a room and there's like 20 real estate agents and you guys are just all the same, you guys are all selling the same house, how are you going to stand out? They're not going to remember you. You have to be that person who has like that spark, but it's rare. But when you're wearing something that makes you stand out, red shoes, red lip, maybe some red earrings, there's something about you. That girl that had the red shoes, I don't know her name, but she had some red shoes on.
That girl with the red shoes, I really liked her.
Yes. You're going to, and it's a conversation starter.
Yeah.
Us as women, we love fashion. We love, you know, the hair, the makeup. And when I walked in, the first thing I said, girl, I like your dress. You know, we started a whole conversation off of what you were wearing.
We did,
and that's the power of fashion. It's the power of what we wear. And sometimes we're not aware of that. And it speaks a lot about who we are sometimes, how we feel about things. And we should be more bold and not be so afraid to just stand out.
To stand out. I feel like I'm learning so much, girl. I love this. I love this. Tell us a little bit more about the June 15 event. So if people are interested in going, what can they expect?
Yes. So this event is called Styling Women in Business. So it's all about empowering women to show up as their best self in the workplace, or even if they're starting a brand, you know, headshots, whatever they want to do, just empowering them to be bold. We're going to have a fashion show to just actually show them instead of just saying it. We're going to have a mini workshop. We're going to have women on the panel, experts in fashion and styling. And yeah, it's going to be a really fun event, just getting together. And the most important thing is networking.
Yes, networking is huge.
Yes, using that time to network. We know when we're starting a business, it's very hard to get clients, to get people to even turn around and listen to what you're saying.
Or maybe just a mentor to be like, help me. Am I doing this right? You know?
Yeah. And with Mujeres, I'm just so excited because our women are not only women who are in fashion, they're everywhere. We have teachers, we have real estate agents, we have attorneys, we have everything. So photographers, girls who are doing podcasts, we have everything. So a lot of the times we hire within, which is beautiful.
Right.
Because if you have a group of women and you need a photographer, well, she's a photographer. Call her.
Oh, you need someone to do this? Oh, I got you. I know someone, you know.
A lot of our girls hire within, and it's helped so many of the girls' businesses grow, and it's less intimidating and scary because they go to the events and they just have all these women that they can just network with, and it just makes a difference. I wish I had that when I was starting. It was really hard.
Honestly, it makes a difference, a huge difference.
Yeah.
Where would this take place?
Yeah, it's going to be at the Lawrence building. Right now they started.
Oh, I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah, in downtown.
Yes.
Super close to Chase Field.
Yes, right there. Yeah, behind.
Yeah.
And now they have one of my friends. Her name is Caroline. She just started her headquarters for people who are in business. It's called Heritage Square. So if you want to go in there, like do events, rent an office space. So we're going to be doing in that office space, but it's going to be in that building.
It's so modern. I love like the concept
It's very
of it.
modern and it's absolutely beautiful. And it's going to be June 15th from 1 to 4.
From 1 to 4. And where can they purchase tickets?
Yes, they can go to Mujeres of All Shades, Instagram, Facebook, and then if they go in Eventbrite, they'll also see it there. They put Mujeres of All Shades.
And where can they follow you?
They can follow me on Instagram, Mujeres of All Shades, and then my personal page, Franchella Ulises. Style by Modest You is my styling page, and then our website, mujeresofallshades.com.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything that you're doing. Like,
thank you.
Oh gosh, it's so empowering. I feel like I learned so much from you today. I really
glad.
did. I feel like these podcasts, man, like, and you know,
empowered.
I feel empowered. I feel like every podcast I learned something new. It's from all these amazing mujeres who are just like doing the damn thing. Like, I'm so proud of each and every one of you guys.
Thank
you.
Honestly. No, and thank you for opening up a space to have speak our truth and talk about our brands, because as we know, it's not easy finding a space where you can just be yourself and talk about what you want to talk about and just showcase our brands. It's very, very difficult. Social media is there to help us, but sometimes the reach is not there.
Social media only allows us to see up to a certain thing. Like we only allow people to see what we want them to see.
Exactly.
You know? So, and obviously you want to highlight all your successes on social media. Like, it's
Yes.
just like the highlights of your life. It's not like, the struggles, the cries,
struggles.
crying in the car, all that stuff, you know?
Yes.
And like I said, like you said, I mean, there's power in seeing people who look like us represented in all these careers, all these fields, all these industries, So,
And also for them to know that we're all struggling.
yeah.
Some of us are working through it, and we're
Yeah.
growing and we're expanding, but our moms keep striving. I know a lot of moms who they just quit. They're done. I'm like, nope. It makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But you can do it. Baby steps.
Yes.
I've learned that with my daughters, where I was always kind of scared, like, should I move forward? And my daughters are my cheerleaders. They're my assistants. Like my oldest, she comes with me to the photo shoots. My baby, she knows about Mujeres of all shades. She's also, because we have a lot of videos on YouTube, and she's always watching the video. She's like, Mujeres.
I love that.
Because we always say that after each event. And she's always like, Mom, Mujeres. Like, she knows it, and all the girls laugh. And I love it because my girls know what diversity looks like. When they go to my events, they see these women who are all different. So when they see different women, for them, it's just like, it's not a big deal.
And you're already raising them to feel so empowered. I think you're not only helping women right now who are within our age, who are adults, but you're also paving the future for young Latinas,
Yes.
and thank you so much, like, for everything that you're doing.
No, thank you. It's been a journey, but it's been a good one. So being able to be in these spaces with all these big channels. I mean, I've done a lot of work with Telemundo too, and they've been amazing. So being able to work with them and just show up, and also for all the Latino community to see me and say, wow, ya también habla español. And putting myself out there too has been scary, but it's been worth it. It's been worth it.
Be scared, but do it anyway.
Do it anyways. We'll
Yes.
figure it out. Yes.
Como dice mi mamá, sin miedo al éxito,
Sin miedo al éxito, sí. Y yo
Yes.
siempre le digo a mis niñas también, sin miedo al éxito. Mis hijas they're go-getters. They love it. They love this whole community. They want to be involved. I make them part of everything. And my husband I call him the real MVP. Because he's been through it. He's just like, all my ideas. Sometimes he doesn't know what I'm talking about because he's not into the fashion world.
Yeah.
But he just sits there like,
Your
Está bien.
support group is everything.
Yeah, I have a really strong support group. And like I said, the women who are part of Mujeres, they've been there since day one. And they're just that, group of girls who are always like, we could do this, move forward. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't want to do it anymore. They're like, yes, you can. Claro que sí. So they keep me going.
They keep you going. I'm your fan. I really
Thank
am.
you.
I love everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
If you guys ever need anything, I'm here to help and lend a hand in any way that I can. So
Thank you.
for everything that you're doing for
Thank
our
you.
community. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, it means so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here as well.
Thank you. I had
Gracias.
fun.
Thank
My
you.
break,
Oh my
girl.
gosh, I love this. Let's come back again
Here's
and do
my
it
vacay
again.
right
Yes.
here.
Thank you everyone for watching, tuning in for another episode of Latinas Power Talk. Again, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, go ahead and follow us on Latinas Power Talk. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments, like, where are you from? Where are you watching? Where are you tuning in? I want to know. Let's start a conversation. So thank you again for everyone. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys back here next week on Wednesday. Bye.